children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. NFL Week 10 against the spread, over under picks and preview. Week 9 was rough. 6-7 for picks, 6-7 for against the spread, and you guessed it, 6-7 over under. How I was able to do 6-7 on all three, and it wasn't just like I won certain games. I won the over under on this game. I won the spread on this game a lot. And it's like, what the hell? So yeah, it was just a weird week. Seen some good football going on. Some football. Monday night game was pretty alright, I guess you would say. This video is getting up fairly late. Normally I like putting it up Tuesday morning. Here we are Wednesday night, Wednesday evening. So it may not be up until sometime on Thursday. So hopefully definitely before the Thursday game. Let's go over here. Thursday night we have an AFC East matchup. We have the 4-4 Buffalo Bills versus the 5-3 New York Jets. Currently the Jets are in the playoffs. If you look at record, everything as of right now, the Buffalo Bills are half game out. The thing about Buffalo is this is almost a must-win. If they go get to 5-4, tie the Jets, they'll be on the cusp of the playoff picture. You go 4-5, Jets get to 6-3. Instead of a half game behind, you're maybe a game and a half behind. So, and you got more teams to climb over. So, one thing Buffalo needs to do here is it's almost a must-win. They have won 4 out of the last 5 versus the Dolphins, so they got that going for them. I'm horrible with pronunciation of names, so y'all know the linebacker that was playing for the Jets that broke Geno Smith's jaw and signed with Buffalo. Yeah, that guy. Rex Ryan made him the captain for the game. Really? Not that Rex needed more fuel on the fire, being the former Jets coach and getting right out of New York, going back with the Bills. Same debate. I mean, just this is going to be one of those old school NFC North matchups, if you know what I mean. You got Shady McCoy just running the ball down the throat of the Jets. You have the Jets and Geno Smith not playing that great. You have just, I think it's going to be that black and blue, physical, kind of in-your-face type of game, the way Rex Ryan is. The Jets are favored by 2.5. I actually think the Bills are going to win this. So I'm giving the Bills a 2.5. I'm taking Buffalo to win. And I'm taking, they'll cover the 2.5 and taking over on the 43. I think there'll be some points put on the board. Next, we have an NFC North matchup. Speaking of the NFC North, we have the Detroit Lions at 1-7 versus the 6-2 Green Bay Packers, the losers of 2 straight, but they're 4-0 at home. In the last 2 years, they are 13-0 in Lambeau Field. The last home loss was a playoff game January 2014 against the 49ers. So they haven't lost at home in a while. Green Bay is favored by 13.5. Detroit, what the hell? 0-4 on the road this year, just god-awful. With Megatron, I'm surprised they haven't traded him at the trade deadline. I got Green Bay covering the 13 and under on the 47.5. Yeah, look at Packers definitely get the victory there. Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys at 2-6 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3-5. Wow, Cowboys losing 6 straight, but they're only 2.5 games out of the playoff, so I guess that's good. I guess. Tampa Bay's favored by 1 at home. They got Des Bryant back. Hopefully Romo will be back sooner than later. Got Matt Castle starting now. I mean, I'm taking Tampa Bay to win at home. Cover the 1 point. Jameis Winston's not setting the world on fire, but he's been a pretty steady quarterback. He's got a couple weapons in Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. So I got Tampa Bay getting the win, covering the 1 point, and under on the 43. Next, we have surprise of the year, maybe. We have the 8-0 Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans. Carolina's won 13 of their past 14 games. Tennessee's 0-4 at home. Mariota's playing decent, and he started the season out phenomenal. He kind of went downhill from there. But, Carolina doesn't seem like they're 13 out of 14 wins going back to last year. 8 straight this year, 8-0. Last year they were 7-8-1. They won like 5 straight to make the playoffs. So there you go. that 13-14 includes the playoffs last year. They won the first playoff game against Arizona, and then they lost against whoever they lost against. I don't remember off the top of my head. So they've had came in playing awesome. Greg Olsen is number 1 tight end. Basically, is the only really weapon on offense after Calvin Benjamin going down in the preseason. I do have Carolina winning this. They'll cover the 5. I'm taking over on the 43.5. Next, we have the Chicago Bears at 3-5 versus the St. Louis Rams at 4-4. Right now, the Rams are first team out of the playoffs. I think they're 2 games out playoff hunt. They're 3-1 at home. They just signed Wes Welker to help on the third downs. I don't know how I feel about that. Wes Welker, 5 years ago, top-notch receiver, one of the best in football. When he played with Tom Brady, went to Denver, played with Peyton, pretty good. Obviously, injuries, concussions started piling up. He, missed the first half of the year, was a free agent. I guess had itch to get back into football. The Rams came calling. Here we go. Do I want to see? I mean, if you've seen the news, you see Reggie Bush tore his ACL, falling on the bare concrete right in front of the stands on the field at our Jones Dome. He is suing the city of St. Louis in the Dome for him falling and hurting his knee, tearing his knee up. So as hard as that AstroTurf Dome floor is, I'm kind of shocked that Wes Welker signed with them because, just one hit, he's had a history of concussions. You can get a concussion snap your fingers. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he goes out and lights it up. I hope he's Wes Welker of old, but we'll see which Jay Cutler we're going to see. The masterful one we saw on Monday Night Football or the one we see throw picks all the time. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Cutler. The 2015 version of Jeff George. St. Louis is favored by 7.5 at home. I think St. Louis will win this. I think Chicago will cover the 7.5. I'm taking under on the 42.5. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints at 4-5 versus Washington Redskins at 3-5. The line is even, over under at 50. I'll take the Redskins to win at home. I'll take over on the 50. The Redskins are 3-1 at home. They're 3-5 for the year. So I see them winning that and be over on the 50. Next, we have the 3-5 Miami Dolphins versus the 4-4 Philadelphia Eagles. Miami is a game and a half out of the playoffs in the AFC, and the Eagles are 2 games out in the NFC. Both teams are a must-win if they if they got playoff aspirations. I don't know about Bradford in this Chip Kelly offense. I think if RG3, Kaepernick would fit better. Obviously, Bradford coming off back-to-back ACLs. He's playing good for what he is. I think he needs to go to another team. I think he needs to be in your standard offense, not this high tempo type of crap. Same way with DeMarco Murray. He needs to be in the standard offense. Maybe you ship both these guys somewhere else next year, and you bring in Kaepernick and RG3 and kind of start from scratch in Philly, I guess. Philly's favored by 7 at home. I'll take Philly to win. They got them covered in 7. I'm taking over on the 47. Next, we have a AFC North matchup with Cleveland Browns at 2-7. God-awful Cleveland Browns at 2-7. Versus the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5-4. Currently, Pittsburgh holds the last playoff spot in the AFC. Once again, without Ben Roethlisberger. Wow. How many injuries can this guy have in a year? Is Michael Vick a suitable backup? For a few games. Obviously, Antonio Brown doesn't think so because Antonio Brown's only caught touchdown passes from Big Ben. So, Le'Veon Bell's out. Yeah, DeAngelo Williams is a viable backup. But to run an offense, Vic, DeAngelo Williams, both are up there age-wise. Neither are the players they used to be. They got to figure something out. Pittsburgh does. Hopefully, Ben only misses this week. They got to bye next week. They should be able to get a win against Cleveland. Pittsburgh's favored by 4.5. Taking Pittsburgh to win. They'll cover the 4.5. I'm taking under on the 41. And maybe a mistake on my part, but I have Antonio Brown in 2 fantasy football teams, and he's getting benched for both of them. So we'll see what happens there. Whew. Next game. Wow. Battle of the 2-6 is the Jacksonville Jaguars and Baltimore Ravens. Blake Bortles and Joe Flacco are better than 2-6, I think. The line is Baltimore by 5.5. I just don't like the way Baltimore's been playing. I'm taking Jacksonville to win. I'll give them 3 points. So I got Jacksonville winning by 3, over under 48, so they'll be over, I think. So I have Jacksonville winning by 3, covering, and over on the 48. Next, we have the surprise, one of the surprises of the year, I think, in the NFC. Minnesota Vikings, a 6-2 versus the 4-4 Oakland Raiders. Currently, Minnesota is in the playoffs. 6-2, one of the better records. Oakland's a half a game behind Buffalo. Derek Carr's looking magnificent this year. Bridgewater, hopefully he's okay. LaMarcus Joyner had that, dirty hit against the Rams last week. Obviously, when the quarterback is sliding, you don't just dive at him. I know he kind of threw himself before he slid, and then he slipped at the last minute. But still, Bridgewater is not Cam Newton. He's not Colin Kaepernick. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not known for a quarterback who's going to run. So, bad hit on LaMarcus Joyner's part. Bridgewater, possible concussion. I guess he passed the first of the protocol, so that looks good for him. Hopefully he'll be playing. I do like Oakland, though, at home. They're favored by 3. I got Oakland winning, covering the 3, and taking over on the 46. Next, we have the 8-0 New England Patriots versus the 5-4 New York Football Giants. Giants are 3-1 at home this year, while the Patriots are 3-0 on the road. A little history of these two franchises. This is the one of the top 3 winning streaks the Patriots have had, and the other 2 ended by the New York Football Giants. Tom Coughlin, the I'm landing. The Giants have won 3 straight versus the Patriots, 2 of those in the Super Bowls. 2010-2011 season, Patriots won 10 straight. Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. 2007-2008 season, they won undefeated in regular season, went 18-0, going into the final of the Super Bowl, and lost to the New York Football Giants. This year, they won 8 straight, and now they're facing the Giants. It's not the Super Bowl, but I'm doing it. Pick to win. Home team, New York Football Giants, Eli Manning. The line was the Patriots by 8.5. I am taking the Giants by 3 with an over-under of 54.5. I got Giants covering the 3 and taking over in the 54.5. Eli somehow does it again. Tom Brady can't lose to Peyton Manning, but he can't beat Eli. Next, we have an AFC West matchup, which when the season started, you looked at this game being a possible game for the division, playoff type game. Nope. We have a 3-5 Kansas City Chiefs versus the 7-1 Denver Broncos. This is the 112th game in the series between the Broncos and the Chiefs. Chiefs have won 56. It's 56-55. Denver has won 7 straight. They've won 4 out of 5 versus the Chiefs in Denver. Denver's favored by 7 at home. The Broncos beat the Chiefs in Kansas City 31-24 in Week 2. I got Broncos continuing that. They're going to win here. They'll cover the 7 points and take it over on the 41.5. On Sunday Night Football, we have the 6-2 Arizona Cardinals versus the 4-4 Seattle Seahawks. Cardinals are 3-1 at home, or on the road. Seahawks are 2-1 at home. Currently, Arizona's tied for the second best record in the NFC. They lose the tiebreaker to the Packers, but they win the tiebreaker versus the Vikings. Seahawks are a game and a half out of the playoffs. Seahawks have lost 2 games in the last 2 years at home. Normally that, the 12th man there in Seattle is amazing. Seattle's favored by 3 at home. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals, giving them the 3 points. Arizona wins by 3, They'll cover the 3 points, under 44.5. Monday Night Football, we have the 3-5 Houston Texans. Wow. At least this game is a little bit better than last week, when both teams were like 2-5 or something. And then we have the Cincinnati Bengals at 8-0. It's going to be just a nice little cruise for Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favored by 12. I got them winning and covering. I'm taking over on the 47. So that will wrap up week number 10 of the NFL season. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.